lean towards Mathis overall to this point, but I think it's extremely close. I think you're going to see some differences in the scorecards from our judges ringside. Those judges are Nola Oliver, Ed Kenner, and Erwin Deutsch. Timekeeper James Korb. Our ring announcer Jose Santiago. Our two referees working all the bouts tonight, Brian Stutz and Jim Korb. My name is Vince Ferrara. We appreciate you joining us here at the Georgia Boxing Championships. Got to thank all of our great sponsors. Tecate, you saw one of the lovely Tecate ring girls. Sports Fan Properties, Shea Bailey Promotions, always presenting classy, terrific live boxing here in Atlanta. Another great card, and we still have 3 more bouts after this one. This is a 6-round welterweight bout. Nice left to the body by Chris Gray. Chris Gray in the red trunks, Winston Mathis in the black trunks. Both exchange. We've seen that a number of times. We're both cleanly connecting. Mathis backing up. Both have had their times where they've come forward. Gray trying to set up his shoulder to lead him block. Hands are down though, protecting more of the body because Mathis has been very willing to put the work in on the body here in the early rounds. We'll see now as we're into round number 4 if now Mathis will start to go upstairs more, especially with the guard of Gray to the body. Nice combo there to Mathis. Mathis resets. Some of Chris Gray's jabs getting blocked. Nice overhand right, but Gray responds. But I think he connected with gloves of Winston Mathis. Both boxers have had good defensive moments as well so far. Don't see and the mouthpiece came out again. That is the 3rd time a smile from Winston Mathis. You can't believe it. Some boos here at the Buckhead Theater. Some frustration, I think, from the opposing corner, that of Chris Gray. I think some of our other sponsors, Sports Radio 680, The Fan, Xfinity, Buckhead Saloon hosting the official after party tonight, free admissions. Tecate, Bacardi, El Jimador, all sponsoring that after party at Buckhead Saloon. Back underway here in this 4th round. Chris Gray with a word with referee Brian Stutz. And again, mouth open from Mathis as he leans forward and he gets caught, but then connects and is holding Gray's head down a little bit. Mathis has been, that's why his mouthpiece comes out. His mouth is open and has been for a good part of this bout. Keeps that mouth open. Very interesting from Winston Mathis. Don't really see the ill effects of the dropping away. Oh, nice left hand on the way out with Chris Gray as he backed up. Both missing on the majority of their exchanges there. Mathis leans forward, little left hook to the ear of Chris Gray. Short right cross hits on the ear of Chris Gray. I think they're talking a little bit now in the ring here in this 4th round. Corner wants Mathis to let his hands go. He has been less willing to do that, as I think we're starting to see some fatigue here in this 4th round. It's been sloppier. First 3 very even, some crisp punches. That one connected to the body, but then Gray responded to a clean right and then catches Mathis leaning forward, stumbles, and they reset in the middle of the ring. Another exchange, but some punches blocked. Gray, I think, felt better about winning that 4th round. So if you give Gray the edge in that 4th round, then you're talking 2-2 in rounds. And you're talking an even bout through 4 rounds. As you see another one of the beautiful Tecate ring girls putting up that 5th round sign. 6-round welterweight bout. Dino DeMonte, Jared Robinson in a light welterweight 4-round bout. That's next. Nicole Woods taking on Elisa Moreno in a light welterweight 4-round bout. That will be our 8th bout of the night. And then our main event tonight will be Paul the Truth Delgado, a veteran of the Georgia Boxing Championships, and the big lockout, which of course will take place in December. The process of what's happening with the Georgia Boxing Championships, if you're not familiar with it, is there are events held throughout the year in more frequent fashion, and it's a build-up to the main event, the weekend of the football championship here in Atlanta that happens every year in college football. First Right connects by Chris Gray. And so almost a proving ground is a good exchange, and Mathis holding on to Gray there, left and then a right. Mathis charging now, Gray backing up. And a warning from Brian Stutz, and Mathis leans forward and you get a break. And no pushing of the head down, says Brian Stutz, Chris Gray. Both boxers have slowed down some, but still seeing the action. Exchange there. Gray turned his momentum, turned his back away from him, but Mathis did not punch. Fortunate there for Chris Gray. Classic Chris Gray in the red trunks. Winston Mathis, and we got a warning. No, we got the mouthpiece out again. That is the 4th time. Chris Gray having to stay in the neutral corner, but getting some help, some words of wisdom from the corner. Xavier Biggs and others in Chris Gray's corner. And a point going to be taken off. Point taken off for the mouthpiece coming out. But if his mouth is open, that mouthpiece is going to come out, and there has to be a price to pay. So a point off there, and in a close bout, man, that could be the deciding point. Shot to the body, Gray goes upstairs. Leaning forward now, good exchange, both landing. Chris Gray letting the hands go, and maybe Mathis stunned a little bit there as Chris Gray looks to have a little bit of a second win. Sticks to left, then comes through with a straight right. Mathis let his hands go, but they're to the body. He has not moved the levels quite as much, hasn't progressed with it. There's been times where he's gone upstairs, but I think he's done enough work to the body to hurt Gray to where he feels like he can pay off upstairs. And Mathis dropped his mouthpiece again. And boos here as Mathis doesn't agree with the boos, but he's already had a point taken off. Not sure what he's saying. That the reason why he's losing his mouthpiece, and this would be, now he's going to get another point taken off. He is not by Brian Stutz. Already has lost one, but he boxes with his mouth open, so that's going to happen. And in more of a defensive role right now, able to punch out of it, comes out of the ropes. Both boxers letting their hands go. But Mathis more in a defensive mode here. And did that mouthpiece come out again? No. All right, that was, wow, I thought that came out again. My goodness. It's happened 5 times already. But that was saliva that came out, and they tangle in the middle of the ring, and then a break, and a nod of the head from Mathis. He's a little frustrated. Stick of the jab, but blocked by Mathis. Gray more of the aggressor coming forward. Mathis now responds, and he's sent back to the ropes and might be hurt. Let's see if Gray can bounce. Final seconds of this round. Mathis trying to punch his way out of it and stay alive in the final seconds of this 5th round. And there's the bell. Wow. Chris Gray. Strong finish to that 5th round. And was that a 10-8 round for classy Chris Gray because of the point taken off from Winston Mathis with the mouthpiece coming out? And I think you could definitely make the case that Chris Gray won the round and a point taken off from Mathis. And I think it was very even. I mean, he could have easily gone 2-2 through the first 4. So if it's a 2-point round for Classy Chris Gray, then that means you're going to need a 2-point round here for Winston Mathis just to even things out. Now, there's no guarantee that with all very close rounds, all 5 of them, it's not a guarantee that that's the case, that Mathis would need a knockdown or a knockout. But one thing's for sure, I think everyone in Buckhead Theater would like to see Winston Mathis keep his mouthpiece in as Brian Stutz had to go get Mathis out of the corner some late words. See which one of these boxers lets their hands go. A lot of rabid punches to the side of Winston Mathis from Chris Gray in the red trunks. They both stay tangled. And again, Mathis punching through the break. And I think there's string or something off one of the gloves of Chris Gray that's sticking out. We'll see. No, maybe not. Oh, both of them connecting. Wow. Each one of them with shots to the right. Now there's a little bit of there's some swelling of Chris Gray. Yeah, that's significant now. That's over the right eye of Classy Chris Gray. Got to watch that. Not sure if it was the butt of the heads or if it was a punch, but Chris Gray is right eye is closing, so he is leaning with that. Keep an eye on it. Chris Gray, it's hard to know where you are on the scorecards because they've all been very close rounds. Oh, straight right. I think hurt Mathis. He's up against the ropes, and Mathis is hanging on. Brian Stutz is not breaking here as those two in the clinch. And Stutz does step in. Chris Gray now. That right eye is closing in a hurry. And that is his front eye as well. Oh, connects. Again, and Mathis punching out from up against the ropes. Right eye, very swollen for Chris Gray. Actually, I said he leads with that. He leads with his left as a orthodox boxer. And Brian Stutz with a warning for Chris Gray. Gray caught. He's holding his head down with Mathis, and Gray complaining about that and took a top of the head to the chin of Chris Gray. And there's some holding here. Brian Stutz finally calls for a break. I think a little frustrated with both boxers. Both connect, and another shot to that swollen right eye of Chris Gray. Will Chris Gray be able to see a shot here late? Can Mathis find a looping left that maybe Gray can't see with that swollen right eye of Chris Gray in the red trunks? And a lot of the zip off of the punches of both of these boxers. Oh, again, that left found the home of that swollen right eye. Chris Gray taking some more chances here, leaning forward, and Mathis connected as we're in the final few seconds of the 6th and final round. Oh, Mathis caught, going back. Gray let his hands go, and they punch through the bell as Chris Gray jumps on the second rope in celebration. That right eye swollen, but he feels like he won the bout. Very, very close.